Either women are responsible or they're grown-up children. If they're grown-up children, they can't have the adult jobs. They can't be responsible for anything. You can't have it both ways. She's responsible. She could be a cop or a guard. Oh, she did a bunch of stupid shit. Well, don't hold her responsible. She's a woman after all. I found this story the other day, and it really kind of, I'd like to say it shocked me, but it didn't shock me. Women's crime's way up, so here's an idea. Let's just stop arresting them. You know, if there's a ton of crime going and you can't bring down the numbers, well, we'll just stop arresting people and we'll say there's no crime and congratulations, crime's cured, everybody. That's the modern politicians / whatever's way of fixing crime, is by just saying, well, let's stop arresting people that are doing wrong. I saw this headline, and this is from 2010. So this is just the headline. I'm not going to read the story, but this is from 2010. Judges ordered to show more mercy on women criminals when deciding sentences. Now, this is a long topic on Better Bachelor. We don't need to do a deep dive into this because we know this. Women are arrested less, they're sentenced less, and then when they're actually given sentences, it's shorter because they're women. And we assume that women are good, they're not as crazy, they're not as well. That's not working out so well. Let's fast forward to September of 2024 from 2 days ago. The number of women being arrested is surging faster than men because of surprisingly, they're doing more violence and more bedroom crimes. Also, probably a lot of the women they're arresting have penises. If I'm just to make a guess, that might have something to do with it. The numbers of females being arrested is surging faster than the number of males, driven by the same aforementioned crimes I mentioned, new figures have revealed. So women are not softer. They are, but for the most part. But women's crimes are rising up because you don't arrest them. You give them easier sentences. Home Office data published yesterday showed the number of women and younger women detained in England and Wales in the year to March jumped 12% compared with the previous year, up to almost 114,000. There were significant increases in the number of females held for the robbery, aggression, robbery, and even bedroom offenses. So yeah, women out there are capable of, but when you look into it a little bit more, who are those offenses against? Are they against strong men? No. In some cases, they're against husbands or boyfriends. And in many instances, they've been given substances that make you rise to the occasion. And then they have sharp objects held to them while they're being taken advantage of. And yes, that happens. Before we get started, let's hear from today's sponsor, The Wellness Company. The world feels like it's on edge right now. Tensions over the upcoming election, economic instability, supply chain shortages, and health threats popping up left and right. With talk of a new pandemic on the horizon, if you're waiting for the medical industrial complex to protect you and your family when things go sideways, you're making a huge mistake. You have to take action and be prepared. That's why I want to tell you about the Wellness Company's Contagion Emergency Kit. It's a lifesaver. Put together by real experts like Dr. Peter McCullough, inside you've got medications like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, budesonide, and even a nebulizer. These are critical medications to treat respiratory illnesses and so much more, especially heading into flu season. Can you imagine if you need some life-saving medications and the doctors are not willing to treat you or telling you can't have those medications? Don't let anyone play gatekeeper with your health. Just a few clicks and the kit's delivered right to your door. It's peace of mind for you and your loved ones in uncertain times. I have a kit. You can get yours too. Go to twc.health/oddmanout and use code oddmanout to get $30 off and free shipping. That's twc.health/oddmanout, code oddmanout for $30 off and free shipping. Do not wait for the next crisis to hit. Be ready, not reactive. Get your kit today and take control of your health. You'll know you're on the right page when this is the page you see in front of you, guys. Go get yourself a kit. I think there's going to probably be a false flag or something else. This is not going to be a smooth transfer of power in either direction. I could see martial law and some other weird things coming into play. I could see some false flags. It's going to be ugly. Make sure you have your water, your food, backup energy, and the medications that are going to support you so you get through this okay. But also, it's happening a lot more with students and teachers, these women teachers, and being inappropriate with students. By comparison, there was a 7% rise in the number of men arrested, with 603,000 during the year. Now, that's a lot more for men, yes, granted. But if you know anything, they've gotten millions of illegal immigrants, and most of them are fighting age males. So, of course, you're going to have a lot more men being arrested now, especially over in the UK and Wales for the rest of the stuff. The figures will release just 2 days after Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood or Mahmoud, unveiled plans to slash the number of women in jail as she insisted prison isn't working for female offenders. So arrest them less, give them lighter sentences, and then when they're put in jail and they come out and commit a crime again, well, we should stop putting women in jail because it's not working for them. It's not working for female offenders. So let me get this straight. You put a crazy, dangerous guy behind bars, and then when he gets let out and he does something bad, the answer is, well, we shouldn't have let him out. We should put him back in jail and keep him in jail longer because he's not socially adapted to work well with society. I would agree with this. This is why the no cash bail problems that some of these main cities are having are destroying the cities, because they arrest somebody and they let them right back out. So that's what's leading to the destruction of big cities. But if you say then, well, we should put these men in jail and let them rot behind bars, and then they come out and they do these bad things, and you want them back behind bars for longer because that's how our justice system works. But when women come back out and do heinous things, well, we need to just stop putting women in jail because it's not working. That makes no sense at all. It's literally, you want to talk about misandry. That is misandrist right there. And of course, this is what she looks like. Gee, shocking. Radical feminist. What a shock. Her remarks amounted to a reversal of then Tory Home Secretary Michael Howard's famous prison works mantra from 30 years ago. Women offenders could be housed in residential centers instead of behind bars, while other criminal charges against female offenders could be resolved before they go to court, the Labour Party conferred in Liverpool heard. It's high time we stop sending so many women to prison, said Ms. Mahmood. Well, of course she doesn't say, let's find out what's going on with these women. Maybe they're up to no good. Maybe instead of working at the root cause, why are women committing more crimes? They work on the end cause. Let's just let women out of jail. Let's not put them in jail in the first place. Let's stop charging them. They said there's currently 3,453 women in jail in England and Wales, more than double the number 3 decades ago. Well, yeah, surprising. If you go back 3 decades, 30 years ago, there might be more women in jail because there's just more women. There's more people here than 3 decades ago. See, they cherry pick the data they want to prove their point. This is why I continually say putting women in these authoritative positions and letting them control things, they're going to cherry pick real data and real talking points to make it sound like what they want is good. No, they just want less women in jail. They want women to behave badly. They want women to be able to get away with more. She says they're noted that 2/3 of women prisoners are inside for non-harmful crimes. Yes, and so are the men. Why aren't you working for the men then? I mean, if we're going to be fair about this, if we're really going to be fair about this, what about looking at the men that were sentenced for non-harmful crimes as well? Why is it only the women? Why are you only, why? Because she has, it's a movement. It's activism. They don't care about the men. They only care about the women. It's always the same thing. From September 24th, and this is the article she was talking about. Labor will send fewer women to jail as prison isn't working for them, the Justice Secretary has revealed. Same lady. Here's the full story on it. Yeah, women are kind of bad, but not really. We can't put them in jail. It's not working for them. It's not really fair. And what happens? This is a perfect example right here. What happens when a woman does something highly illegal? She should end up going into jail, but because too many women are in jail, or she's just a stupid woman. Like, which is it? Women are too stupid and are childlike, so they can't be held responsible for the dumb things they do, or women are strong and brave and empowered and are good and are as smart as men. Which is it? Well, it's both, depending on which one works out to their best needs. It's like Schrödinger's feminist. Is there a cat? Is there not a cat? Well, she's strong and empowered unless it'll work against her. Then she's not strong and empowered. From the Daily Mail, prison officer Amber Clavel learns fate after sleeping with an inmate and smuggling him illicit substances. She's 25 years old. So last I checked, drugs illegal. Last I checked, illicit substances are illegal. Sleeping with an inmate, very stupid, bad idea. Depending on what paperwork you signed, might possibly also have some crimes against it. And then taking them, hiding them, going inside a jail and giving it to somebody, that is definitely illegal. Would you stop, please? No, I muted the wrong thing. My poor dog's having fits over here. I apologize. Would you stop? Just chill. Relax. So all those things are illegal. And what does she get out of it? And she gets community service. I'm just trying to picture where a guy could be going in and sleeping with prisoners and smuggling things into his cracks and giving it to prisoners, and they just give him a slap on the hand. And on top of that, she's a mother of two. So instead of saying, hey, this is a mother of two, we need to take her children away from her, maybe find out if there's another relative or somebody that is would be a better parent for these children. That's not the answer. What's the answer? She did all these horrible things. We can't put her in jail. She's a mother of two. She needs to be there for her children and continue to teach them the fine ethics and life choices that she's made in life. She needs to be able to pass that on to her children. Prison officer who slept with an inmate and took him in substances behind bars has avoided jail time despite prosecutors urging the judge to throw the book at her. See, it's one of these woke leftist judges that gets in. So in this case, prosecutors did their job correctly, police did their job correctly, investigators did their job correctly, but a woke judge said, nope, she's good. This is why every part of the system must be fixed. Mom of two, Amber Clayville, 25, became pregnant. Oh, she became pregnant with a convicted armed robber, Michael Kennedy's child. So not only is she a mother of two, now she's got a third one on the way that your taxes have to pay for because she let a prisoner raw dog her. Oh, Mother of the Year. Mother of the Year award. Why are taxes out of control? Why is government spending out of control? Anyway, it was at Jeffrey Pierce's Correctional Center near Windsor in Sydney's Northwest earlier this year. I didn't even read this whole story because if I do, I usually just hang my head and decide not to do a video for the day because it drives me crazy. They hooked up between January and April while she was in a program and services officer in the prison's intensive drug and alcohol treatment. Okay, so this guy was in for treatment of misuse of substances. She was the program and services officer of that program, and she was taking him the stuff while he was in treatment. The court heard that Clavel smuggled 33 grams of crystalline methamphetamine stuffed into balloons and a pouch of tobacco in her bra. Western Sydney mom was caught after she texted her friend and followed one of the other officers, Jessica Ilgundi, when Clavel discovered she was pregnant with Kennedy's child. So now another woman apparently knew about this. Ilgundi was also in an intimate relationship with a different inmate at the time and has since been sentenced to a 12-month community correction. Now you got two women that are security guards that are friends, and both of them are hooking up with inmates. Oh, this was a great idea to let women into these jobs. Equality for all. You know, women wanted, they fought for the rights to have the same jobs and the same responsibility as men. And then we give it to them and they fuck it up beyond all recognition. Now here's two guards that are hooking up with prisoners, one of which gets pregnant. She's single. Now she's got 3 kids on the taxpayer's dime. And where are they buying these substances? Did you at least put the thumb screws to them and say, all right, we're going to go light on you for your prison sentence, but you got to give us the dealers? Probably not. Clavel pleaded guilty to 6 charges, including all the other stuff. She fought back tears as Magistrate Stephen Corey sentenced her to 2 years and 3 months to be served in an intensive community corrections order and 200 hours of community service in Parenth local court. Magistrate Corey took into account she has no prior convictions and that forensic psychologists found she was emotionally vulnerable at the time of her relationship. Always an excuse, always an excuse, always an excuse. Excuse after excuse after excuse. She was emotionally vulnerable. And this devious element, this evil, toxic man was able to overpower her intelligence and her authority and her moral responsibility. She couldn't help herself. It's not her fault. She's emotionally vulnerable. Go off with your bullshit. Either women are responsible or they're grown-up children. If they're grown-up children, they can't have the adult jobs. They can't be responsible for anything. You can't have it both ways. She's responsible. She could be a cop or a guard. Oh, she did a bunch of stupid shit. Well, don't hold her responsible. She's a woman after all. He also noted that Clavel didn't receive adequate training for the job. Instead of was given a manual to read and told fake it till she makes it in the role. Is there somewhere in that manual that says don't fucking take down your pants and let prisoners f you while you smuggle in drugs to them? Is that in the manual? Does that have to be in the manual? What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. They give them every excuse in the world. Like they're responsible or they're not. They're adults or they're children. They're fucking retards or geniuses. You can't have it both ways. Well, she didn't get a manual. I've read lots of, I've put together things that I didn't read the manual on. And when I screwed it up, I went back and looked at the manual. I don't remember seeing anything that said, don't stick your dick into the saw. Don't hammer your penis to the wall while installing this cabinetry. So why the fuck would it say in there, don't fuck prisoners and raw dog and take them drugs? You don't need that in a fucking manual, you goddamn retards. Her lack of professional qualifications and training was a major contributing factor to her offending. She was thrown in the deep end and told to kick her legs and swim. Okay, she was thrown in the deep end and told her legs to kick and swim. Did she need more training? Yes. She wasn't told to get in the deep end, spread your legs, let his little swimmers swim, and get you pregnant. She knew it was wrong, and that it was seriously wrong. There was an abuse of trust. Oh, but then why is there no penalty? Why is there no penalty? Why is there no penalty? Ever, every fucking time. I'm just so tired of excuses. I'm so tired of women getting passes for fucking everything. And then they wonder why we're upset. Why are men checking out? Why are men pissed off? Why are men angry? This is why. You get the worst of the worst of the worst women. They're just, they can't handle themselves. They're the innocent ones. It's not their fault. And they were fired. That's the good news. The good news, everybody. What's the top comment here? She wasn't given adequate training. I'm guessing not removing your underwear in the workplace would have been the training, even if she had been given it. That's usually taken that are given will people that already know that. 75 likes. Over and over and over and over. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. And then you have, and I'll edit this out for the YouTube portion of this, because I know they don't want to talk about politics. But then you have the Harris campaign coming out and supporting women and supporting the LGHD and men are toxic and men are the worst and men are bad. And then those men see these women being treated like this by the current establishment, whether it's in Canada or Australia or the UK or the United States. Men see this and they go, I'm done with this. And then when they need your vote, and then when they're very upset that you're not listening to them anymore, they come and pander to you and beg to you, men, support us. If you don't, you're misogynistic. If you don't give us our vote, you must support this. And then when the men say no and they don't get elected back into office, they go right back to men are disgusting pigs. This is why men are out. This is why good, smart men understand the establishment's against them, and they're not going to be part of this bullshit. We're done with it, and we're out.